So AEW just launched their own streaming platform for outside the US and Canada, and I'm honestly a little mixed on it. So let's dive in. MyAEW is meant to be for all territories outside of the US, with technically like 4 options being offered. There's a free version where you just watch the AEW channel, which has old reruns of AEW Dynamite from 2019, 2020, and I'm assuming onward. Then there's option 2, where you pay $8 a month, and that includes weekly TV for AEW, for Dynamite Collision, and Ring of Honor, or Honor Club, along with the old AEW Dynamite TV archives, which is not bad for $8. That's, I think, a couple thousand hours worth of television that you can watch with some great wrestling. Option 3 is $20 a month, which include everything I just mentioned, plus the pay-per-view archives, a select pay-per-view archive, but also, and this is the thing that worries me, the monthly pay-per-views for AEW and the quarterly pay-per-views for Ring of Honor. The 4th option is $120 a year, and that gets you everything I just mentioned. Now, let's talk about the negatives before the positives. The only thing that really worries me is the pay-per-view part. I worry that it may cannibalize the pay-per-view sales in the US year on year. They've grown from 2024 to 2025, and 2026 does not appear to be any different. They'll continue to grow. I just don't want them to regress, at least on paper. In the US, you need to pay $30 a month just to watch the PLEs for WWE, but with a VPN, you can watch everything on Netflix as if you're in London. I just don't want the same thing to happen to AEW and their pay-per-views. Now that said, let's talk positives. A while ago, Tony Khan mentioned that per fan, AEW fans spend more on their product per person than any other sport or sports league. That includes the NFL and MLB and every other major sport in the world. Now, that doesn't mean that AEW is worth more than the NFL, but all it means is that fans are willing to spend more money on average for the product. So why not launch an international network that addresses the other issues? AEW was / sort of is on Thriller TV, but Thriller has been having a number of financial issues. Additionally, AEW is working on TV deals worldwide, including Mexico, Europe, and Australia. They're aiming to be a global company, and the more people that can see them, the better. Also, AEW recently uploaded a video onto YouTube channel explaining what AEW is for new fans and how they can get into the product. That, along with ticker growth, tells me that they're trying to grow outside of the US and expand further. They need to be visible, and MyAEW addresses that problem. Hell, before Grand Slam Australia had come out, AEW hadn't been running TV in the country for about 3 weeks, which might explain why they only had 7,000 tickets sold for Grand Slam Australia when last year they did 13,000. This is just one way that AEW can be experienced in any and other countries outside of the US and outside of Canada. But lastly, maybe this is an insurance policy. So, with Netflix out of the picture now to purchase WBD, Paramount is the most likely buyer, which is its own can of worms. That might not happen now because of the midterms and seem pronounced to, the country's going to turn blue, which is a good thing. Let's not talk about politics. Look, Paramount has a deal with TKO for UFC, which is entirely possible they could drop AEW because obviously TKO owned UFC and, WWE. Now look, I have said in the past that I have every confidence that if something were to happen to AEW, they would end up on another streaming platform, whether it be Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Disney, or Peacock. But this is also feeling like it can be a short-term insurance policy, which is a smart move by AEW for the long term. Overall, this promotes their growth outside the US market, as well as being a litmus test to see what other territories AEW is strong in that they may not have realized. Maybe there's a massive audience for them in India or Egypt or Korea. Who knows? But Tony Khan will know that in a matter of time.